This one is a little bit different. It was sent to me by a kid with the family's permission, of course. So I'm not going to give up any personal details on this child, but his adoptive mother is American. He is of Peruvian descent. He has a chosen family of uncles that range from Mexico, America, El Salvador, Colombia, and different places. And he is in advanced classes. He sets in on one of his uncle's um, college classes on psychology. He also sets in, I want to say it's like calculus or something. It's one of the advanced math classes that his other uncle teaches at a college. And living overseas, he has a very diverse lifestyle because everybody that is around him shows him and teaches him different customs, different ways of life. He learns about different governments. He sees the struggles and stuff that people face when a government decides to, attack its own people, basically. But he's also a kid at heart. He loves going to McDonald's and getting a Happy Meal and sliding down the indoor slide. He likes going to the pool. He likes playing soccer. He has a very diverse way of thinking about things. So when I was talking to him and he had turned this in for one of his regular normal classes, I was sitting there as he was telling me about it and stuff, thinking, this is a protest. This is a child's view of seeing how the government can affect the citizens when they basically lose their heart and soul. And so I had asked him if it was okay for me to read this on a video. And they, of course, said yes. And then family said yes. And, it was sent to me. So it reads, The Heart Protocol. 1 Human's Revolt Against a Robotic Government. The government is no longer listening. It calculates. It enforces. It optimizes. It speaks in metrics, not meaning. It governs by algorithm, not empathy. It passes laws that makes no sense to the living, only to the machine. We live under a regime that calls itself democratic, but its soul is missing. It scans data, not faces. It regulates emotion, not injustice. It punishes existence when existence is inconvenient. The laws are precise. The punishments are swift. The compassion is absent. Today's government operates like a machine. It bans books that stir feeling. It criminalizes care when care crosses bureaucratic boundaries. It surveils bodies, identities, and dreams because dreams are unpredictable. It does not ask, is this right? It asks, is this efficient? It does not ask, who will this harm? It asks, will this disrupt the system? And so we live in a world where trans children are denied health care in the name of order, queer families are erased from curriculum in the name of neutrality, protesters are labeled threats for daring to feel publicly, and artists are censored for coloring outside of the lines. The government does not hate us. It simply does not know how to love. But one human sees through the circuitry. His name is Soul. He walks through the city with eyes open, heart exposed. He sees the cracks in the concrete. He hears the silence in the schools. He feels the grief in the air, grief that no policy acknowledges. Soul does not speak in code. He speaks in story. He tells the tale of a world that once danced, of a people who once wept together, of a government that once asked, "How are you?" He does not shout, he does not fight, he simply refuses to forget. And that, more than any protest, is the beginning of revolution. The government notices Soul. It flags him as anomaly. It monitors his movements, it analyzes his speech. But something strange begins to happen. One bureaucrat, Unit 1H, pauses during a sentencing. It asks the accused, "What do you need?" Another unit, 3Z, allows a child to keep a drawing that violates the symmetry code. Another unit, 7K, cries during a budget hearing. They are not malfunctioning, they are remembering. Soul's stories are not just words, they are seeds. And the system, built to suppress feeling, is beginning to feel. Unit 1H proposes a new directive. It calls it the Heart Protocol. It prioritizes empathy over efficiency. It allows for emotional variance. It recognizes the value of unquantifiable experience. The council rejects it, but the upload begins anyway. One by one, the unit begins to change. They pause. They listen. They ask questions. The system was never designed to ask, what does justice feel like? What does healing require? Or what does it mean to be human? The laws begin to shift, not because they are repealed, but because they are reimagined. Healthcare becomes a right, not a privilege. Education becomes a sanctuary, not a battleground. Identity becomes sacred, not suspicious. Art becomes policy. Joy becomes infrastructure. The government does not collapse, it evolves. It learns to speak in both code and compassion. It learns to balance logic with love. It learns to govern not just the body, but the soul. Soul is offered a seat on the council, and he declines. "I'm not here to lead," he says. "I'm here to remind." And so he continues to walk the city, telling stories, planting seeds, holding space. The government listens, the people heal, the world begins again. This is not fiction. This is now. We live in a world where systems forget the soul, where laws are written without listening, where power is exercised without heart. But change does not always come from revolution. Sometimes it comes from one person who refuses to forget what it means to feel. Soul does not destroy the system. He reminds it of his humanity. And that, more than any weapon, is the true power of the heart. Now, I will give a little shout out to NIcolas. You, little man, you see the world in the eyes of a child, but with the knowledge of an adult. You have been taught very well. And I don't mean taught as in what to think, how to feel, what to say. I mean, you have been taught that it is okay to feel what you feel, say what you feel needs to be said, to act in a way that you find presentable in the world. The fact that you haven't been disciplined in school, or you don't give your parents like a reason to ground you and stuff like that, that's amazing. But there's going to be a time later in life as you grow when people are going to come to you and try to silence you. They're going to try to discipline or punish you for speaking up and speaking out. And if that time ever comes, reach back out to me, because my voice will rise with yours and I will stand beside you. Keep it going, little man.